What is good, my peoples? This is Kobe2408 bringing you some more league news. I know I haven't made a video in a little bit, but hopefully we'll get back to a video a day, or maybe 2 videos a day. But anyways, got a lot to talk about, so let's get to it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the first ever female LCS player. She goes by Remilia, or Remi for short. They say she's a female. Technically, she's a transgender. She is a man. She was born a boy, and she has boy parts. And how do I know this? Because there was some pictures she had posted on ImageRar and showing her parts. If you want to go look at those, you can. Yeah, just a little shocking. Just be aware of that. Warning, yeah, you see everything. She shows it all. Personally, I don't care how you identify, as long as you do things that make you happy in life. She is a woman. That's how she's identified, and that's how she wants to be identified as. But she is she's transgender for sure. I would like to see in the LCS, like a first female for sure with female parts. But this is what we'll get for now. Last year she did an interview. If you guys want to read the entire interview, I'll have the link in the description below. Yeah, but I'd like to see like an all woman LCS team would be pretty sweet. I know they tried to push for it, but I don't think they made it to the LCS. Obviously it's dominated by men, and yeah, pretty much the gaming entire industry is dominated by men. I know in Counter-Strike they have some professional women's teams and they have some tournaments, but I'd like to see them compete against men too. I'd enjoy that. Definitely. That's really all I want to talk about on that topic. If you guys, you make your own opinions, but yeah, it was just shocking at first, but now it's set in and it's like, okay, cool. Good for her, really. So the second thing I want to talk about is actually why Crumbs ended up leaving. So we got an update on that, and then why Renegades had to do a name change and kind of like an owner swap and all this craziness. So pretty much what happened was Renegades and another team, TDK, they are banned from professional competition, League of Legends, anything related to League of Legends. So any LCS, Pro Play, any tournaments or anything that Riot ever has, they are banned, pretty much banned for life. So what happened was, so let me just read you a little snippet real quick, and then we can discuss what transpired from that. So the first 2 teams that were in question are Renegades and TDK. Riot alleges that Renegades players were improperly treated on a team, that Christopher MonteCristo Mykles, the owner of Team Renegades, and one of the most popular commentators in all League of Legends, improperly contracted a currently suspended team owner, Chris, I'm going to butcher his last name, Badawi, we'll call him Chris B, into an ownership agreement. So Chris B, this guy was suspended because he was trying to poach players, meaning he would go to certain players, tell them, hey, I have a better contract for you, come to my team, and then he wouldn't discuss it with the team owners or the manager of the team. So that's what got him suspended. I don't know if it was like a lifetime suspension from any Pro Play or LCS or Riot or whatever it may be, but he was suspended. So Christopher Mykles goes up to him and goes, hey, can you manage a team? And he goes, yeah, I can probably manage a team. And I believe they didn't go to Riot and discuss this, and so Riot found out and they banned Renegades, and so that's why there was a name change, and that's mostly why Crumbs ended up leaving. And who knows if Crumbs was a part of it. He was a big part of the team, that's for sure. I don't know if he was part of should we hire this guy, should we hire that guy. It's unfortunate. Sad to see Crumbs go. He was actually a really, really, really good jungler. But if you do things behind people's backs, or you do things and you don't tell Riot about it, they are gonna come down really hard. So Riot is forcing both teams to sell their LCS slots. According to this article, Renegade slot is worth over $1 million. I mean, that is an absurd amount of money just for that one slot. Not only that, you miss out on a lot of opportunities for endorsement deals and TV time and all sorts of things. So advertising is probably one of the big parts in that as well. But I mean, there's going to be teams that are going to be happy to jump in to that spot. Who knows if they're going to sell it for over $1 million? But that's just ridiculous. I had no idea that an LCS spot was worth that much money. So maybe that's why, they kind of did this weird shady contracting behind the back, because there's so much money involved in this, LCS and the pro level play. Not only that, this article also says that Team Impulse was also banned because they failed to pay their players. I mean, a certain salary that they were expecting to get. I mean, the treatment of players in this is just terrible. So I can see why some players are trying to create a union, and so they can get together and discuss salaries and benefits and things like that. Because, I mean, there's a lot of money that's being thrown around, and, the people that are getting shafted are obviously the players. The team, the management, and the owners, they can divvy out how much they want to give to their players. But yeah, it's almost like a sweatshop kind of deal. You see the players playing 12, 18, 20 hours a day, getting 4 hours of sleep, and getting paid like less than minimum wage. I mean, it's just crazy. And you're thinking, because you see them all the time, that they're getting all this money back to them, they say for the slides, $1 million. If they sell it, how much do the players get? They probably get nothing. So just sad, unfortunate, but that's what you get for mistreating your players, going behind Riot's back. You got to follow the rules and the regulations, so that's what they're in place for. So the last thing I want to hit is drugs in the LCS or pro play in general. In the gaming industry, it's pretty rampant. The drug of choice in this gaming industry is obviously something that can keep you awake for hours and keep you focused as well, and that is Adderall or Ritalin, or there's all these derivatives of it, but mainly everybody knows the word Adderall. It's taken for people that have ADD or ADHD, which is attention deficit disorder, attention hyperdeficit disorder. It is for those people that have this ADD or ADHD, to keep them focused and to keep them alert, because mostly their mind wanders a lot. But for people that don't have this disorder, if you take it, it will keep you up, keep you focused, but it is highly addictive. It is a drug. It's a controlled substance. You have to have a doctor's prescription. But then again, people get their hands on it and take it, and obviously stay up, stay focused. But then, there's the downside of, you're taking drugs. You can become addicted. You can spend all your money all this time. But anyways, the point of this is there's obviously going to be starting, they're going to start doing drug testing in esports, which is a good thing. They should. People shouldn't have a leg up because they can stay up longer, whatever it may be. They can take something to improve their performance. I mean, it's just like steroids, Do you want steroids in sports? Do you want somebody to have a better advantage than you just because they're taking something else? So, we want an even playing field is what we want. So I'm glad they're going to start doing the drug testing. We don't need the drugs being rampant. People getting addicted. I mean, these kids are like, 15, 16, 17 mainly, who are joining the LCS now, or any of the pro play. They're extremely young, and getting addicted to drugs that early, I mean, that is absurd. So, drug testing, good thing. There's an article about it. I think they're implementing it this year, or the following year, but it's going into effect very shortly here. So this is definitely a good thing for esports and the gaming industry as a whole. I believe they're doing some type of Olympic-style testing, which is would be like random teams would get tested, random players, and so it'd keep everybody on their toes. Definitely would stop a lot of people from taking drugs. It probably wouldn't clean up everything. You know, people find ways and things like that. But I think what would be the punishments, and they should have some really severe ones if caught, you know, taking drugs multiple times. According to this article, some of the punishments would include point deductions, disqualifications, or even 2 years ban. I think maybe a lifetime ban. That would deter pretty much 90% of the people. There's always going to be somebody that, you know, takes something or does something, just like in baseball or basketball, whatever, or any sports or whatever it may be. There's always somebody that decides to use drugs for whatever reason they choose. You know, that's their choice. But, you know, it happens. That's all for league news. Remember to comment, subscribe, and like. And you guys, remember, stay awesome, my friends.
I wanted to tell you how much I